Welcome back, guys. All right, so today is day 2 for this intermediate confidently crocheting class. Now, as you may have noticed, some things don't look like they have changed. I am batching all of these videos. So, like, no stress. She's wearing the same shirt, the hair is the same, blah, 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 blah. What I wanted to do was make sure that I brought to you guys a consistent schedule and bringing things in. And so right now, what that's going to look like is you're going to have some videos that were all batched, but I will bring to you that specific days, and they will drop at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Saturday for this. And then those live Q&As that I talked about will take place on Thursdays in on a Zoom that we will record and I will drop on YouTube and both Facebooks once it's all done. Now, those live Q&As we are going to be doing at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time on Thursdays for this. So that will go all the way until October 17th. So if you want to be on those, I would love to have you. And I've only got a limited number of people that can join. So make sure that you follow that link and you get yourself signed up, because once once the room fills up, the room fills up. All right. Today what we're going to cover is going to be about what exactly does it mean to be intermediate skill level? And then we're going to talk about taking care of yourself while crocheting. So, a very basic concept of skill levels. You have 3 general categories. Now, yes, you're going to go in there and you're going to find advanced beginner or easy, advanced beginner, or man, I can't remember what the other you're going to find subcategories. But here's our 3 main things. You have a beginner, you have intermediate, you have advanced. So a beginner is somebody who has comfort with some, if not all, of the 5 foundational stitches, and you're able to make simple patterns. Intermediate is that you have now become very consistent, comfortable with those basic stitches. You can do some, you're comfortable using a variety of stitches together, and you're doing just fine with shaping and what's that last thing? Finishing up a project, okay? Advanced is where you are a master of those basic foundational stitches. You are doing complex techniques or complex stitch combinations, and you're able to do a lot more with shaping, finishing, and just, you're just doing some of those things that are a bit more intense, right? I mean, pretty simple, right? So I'm actually going to still encourage that you have a skill set of adventurous. When you see a pattern that you want to make, guys, if you're willing to just give yourself grace and take the time, even if it starts mentioning things that you don't yet know, that's the thing. You just don't know them yet. So if you find a pattern, I don't want you to let skill set chase you off. If there's something you want to make, sweetheart, just go make it, okay? Being adventurous is going to open up the door. And it's going to mean that you become empowered and that you become courageous to follow your heart. My mom, not my mom, I'm doing this for my mom. I saw this incredible crocheted couch for a cat, but she is a little dog, right? Same size. And so, no, I had never made something like that. But yes, I want to. So just go ahead, get into there. And if you don't know something, then you come to something like this and you get the help that you're looking for. So skill set adventurous opens up all the doors and it doesn't hold you back. But just so you have a basic understanding of what the heck they mean when they give you skill sets, that's what it is. So there will be some people, such as myself, that when they make their patterns, they do not put skill sets, a skill level on there, because because I feel that it becomes limiting. All right. Now, how do you take care of yourself while crocheting? There are two aspects to this. There's the physical, there is the emotional. Physical. I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be. I'm just going to share some things that I have found out along the way. Okay. So when you start crocheting a whole bunch, you just get comfortable in your own spot, doing your own thing, right? And depending on how you sit and where you sit and the lighting and your eyesight, and if you're tired and if there's this and if there's that, sometimes you just start to get hunched over. Sometimes you start getting sore and stiff, and that can mess with the neck, the shoulders, the back, okay, things like that. So, if that is something that's happening, something that is bothering you, I have found, and it's probably backwards on the video. Yes, it is. We're going to switch for just a second. Ta-da! All right. This guy, Rick Casilde, you can go to criticalbench.com. I am not affiliated. I just really, really found a lot of help doing this. Forward head posture fix. Unlock your hip flexors. Holy cow, that helps with the lower back tons. All right. Now, if you're starting to have problems with your wrists, or any of this, of course, go and talk to your doctor, see about, maybe stretches or other things that you can do so that you are not complicating problems. Some of the other things just to be aware of when you are crocheting a whole bunch is, how are you sitting, right? Is the lighting good? Is the lighting really bad and it's causing you to hold things up closer so you can see better? Just, if it's different things that you can be aware of, that you can go and make a slight adjustment here or something over here is changed just to make things better for you. Okay. Now, the emotional aspect. With crocheting, like any other thing, any other craft we can get into, any other hobby we can get into, just basically anything that we can get into, it can have some emotional roller coasters attached to it. So in crochet, especially with the holidays coming up, this is something that becomes something really evident. We get really excited, right? We want to make this for my mom, and this for my sister, and this for my other sister, and this for my brother, and this for my son, and this for my daughter, and this for my husband. And oh, I like that. I wonder, maybe I'll make that for me one of these days. One of these days, right? So what happens is we've got a lot of excitement and we get into these things, and these things can sometimes turn into like bigger than we thought they were projects, or life just suddenly, things are really busy. And so now stress starts to come in and get involved. And that's just if we stay at one level of the roller coaster. We can get into other levels of the roller coaster. What if you've put too much pressure on yourself that you've got to have all of this done by a certain date? Or one more level of this, you have finished the project. You have poured yourself into this with so much joy because you just know that they're going to love this. And then you get the reaction that you weren't expecting. They may still appreciate it, but it wasn't with the fanfare that that much work like could have equaled. And what do you do then? Okay, guys. Just like any other emotional things that take place, emotions are incredible gifts, okay? But they're signposts. They're not our destination. They're not our vehicle. They're not supposed to be what's in charge. So, just taking a moment, what parts are within our control? So, I I am one of those that I get totally excited about this idea and that idea and this idea and this idea. And I'm also one of those people that like, I need to work on this one and then I need a break from it and I'm going to go work on this one and then I need a break from it and I'll come back or I'll do this one. It's just how I'm wired. Okay. So know who you are, know what works great for you, but throw in a lot of grace there. Go ahead and take care of yourself emotionally. You can get really burned out if you're making things for everybody else. Oh my goodness, I love that hat. Could you make me one too? Oh, I've been seeing that you've been making those hats. They're so great. Could I have one too, but could it be this color? Right? And you love making them, but suddenly what you did as a joyful project for one person turned into 20 things that are sitting on your to-do list, and you're just kind of like, I don't want to make that hat no more. Okay. All of this is just a practice of being aware and how are you going to manage the different aspects. One of the incredible ways to actually manage all of this is going to sound silly, but hang in here with me. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself first. And I don't mean in a self-centered, nasty, icky way, but if your child had just created a painting for you and you know that they've put a lot of effort and time into it and they were being intentional and they brought you something, what words would you use to tell them how much you love what they made for you and that they made it for you? And when you would lavish that kind of praise on them, you can lavish that kind of praise on you. Here's one way to think about it. I have this cup. To fill this cup up, right, I'm working on a project and I am expecting this much and then this much and then this much because I've been putting part of me into this. My time, my effort, right? I've been learning things, I've been overcoming things. And so when we create something, it holds that much weight, volume inside of us. And so what happens when we hand somebody something, it's a container, okay? It's a container of expectation. You hand them this container of expectation and they give to you, but it only filled up that much. So now you gifted, you gave, they received, and you have this much void. And that leaves something hurting in your heart. And it's not because they did something wrong. It's not because of anything bad. It's while we were working and everything we poured into it, whether we intentionally did it or not, that's just the way it goes. When you do something and give effort, it builds expectation. This is why a lot of disappointments come, because you have a container of expectation. And I don't want you to quit having a container of expectation that kind of turns into something really nasty of like, I don't know the words, okay, but just this concept of I will give and 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 give until I just can't give no more. And that leaves you empty, hurting, and not okay. Building containers of expectations are good. What's not good is what we're expecting outside sources to reaffirm all of our hard work. When we can look at our container of expectation, we can look at this and we can understand why we have this, because there was, wow, I sat down and conquered that flippin' stitch that was giving me nightmares. I finally understand how to do that. Oh my goodness, I had to undo 15 rows because I messed up on the count, but I have finally got that down. Oh, I'm done with this project, but I really need to make it, and I really want to make it. Let's just stay in there. Perseverance, endurance. Okay, I've overcome all of that, and now I have to learn how to do things I haven't yet done, and that's connect, so attach this piece to that piece, and what in the world did this person mean in this pattern? But I'm sticking with it, and I've overcome it. Oh my gosh, wow, I'm almost done. Da, da, da. You know why you have a container of expectation. You have a container of expectation because you are the one that poured yourself into it. So what happens if instead of me handing you an empty cup and asking for you to fill it up, when you actually have no comprehension, even if you crochet, what if you have no comprehension that that stitch was giving me nightmares legit and that I had to undo 15 rows, right? And even if I told you, you didn't experience it yourself, you might have empathy for me. But regardless, what if along the way I just like, wow, let me just breathe and take that in. I learned how to do a triple crochet and it doesn't look like a mess. And I made 5 of them and they all are almost consistently the same. Good enough, right? I can just enjoy what I did. See, there's nothing wrong in that. I just enjoyed what I did. Okay, I had to undo 15 rows, but you know what? You know what? Okay, fine. I undid 15 rows. I figured out where the stitch was that I was having a mess up with. It only took 3 tries, but look, it's done. And I may be silly for like 5 minutes in my craft room, and they're wondering in there, what is mom doing? But who cares? I'm going to rejoice. Ha ha! I got it. Yeah, that was great. Look what I did. Woohoo! And I'm just going to be silly and celebrate it because now my cup of expectation is already getting filled along the way. And if you can just do that, when you hand this off to somebody, that gift that you made them, the cup of expectation is already almost completely full. And when they give you appreciation, your cup is overflowing. Your cup is overflowing. And you weren't looking for the outside world to fill up anything inside of you, so that when they did, it was overflowing. That's what I mean by taking care of yourself emotionally. Okay? When anything we do in life, how we raise our children, how we love others, how we interact, and it always comes with a cup of expectation. If we can learn to fill up our own cups of expectation along the way, and then because your children pick up so much, what if the world around you, your husband, your children, begin to pick up on this little habit? We could see a lot of different things. So that's where I'll leave you with today. Okay. Tomorrow, technically for you guys, 5 minutes from now for me, uh, we are going to talk about planning for those gift giving, especially the holidays, right? So I'll see you then. Bye, guys.